Hello everyone, it's Meg. Welcome to a new video. I have finally succumbed to the fact that it is now autumn. I'm filming this like mid-September. This video is probably going up kind of like late-ish September. And I have finally succumbed to the fact and submitted that it is autumn. And I do really like autumn, but I would probably choose like summer or spring over autumn these days, even though autumn used to be my fave. I know a lot of people like autumn though, and I always do seasonal TBRs, as you guys should know, and obviously I like to kind of theme those kind of TBRs kind of depending on the season. I have certain reads. So we have like an interesting selection of books. We have a little bit of historical fiction, kind of like fantasy, we have some like classics, we have like a bit of graphic novel, just you know, a bit of everything really. I've got 7 books that I'm going to talk to you guys about today. This might increase. Obviously, like I said, we're halfway through September when I'm filming this, so I've only got about 2.5 months. But I'm going to do my best to read all of these books because I'm looking forward to reading them. I really hope I like them, and I hope you guys enjoy me talking about them. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So we're going to go randomly from the pile that I have here, and the first book is Enquiries by E.M. Forster. I have been meaning to read something by E.M. Forster for ages, and I got this in my birthday book haul, and you can check out my like end of summer book haul and my birthday vlog. I'll try and remember to leave them in the description of the video if you want to go and check them out. But I finally got A Room with a View and Enquiries, and I feel like Room with a View gives me more like spring summer vibes for some reason, even though I don't really know a lot about it. And this book, I don't really know, it just kind of gives me autumn vibes. The cover not so much because it's like pink and blue, which gives me spring. But I don't know a lot about it apart from the fact that this book wasn't published during E.M. Forster's lifetime. It was published after his death, because this is basically like a gay like romance coming of age kind of story. And E.M. Forster felt like that it wasn't the right time for the book to come out during his lifetime. So I'm really intrigued to see what I think. I've heard nobody talk about this book. I think it is a slightly newer release compared to his other novels, which makes sense. But I'm really intrigued. If you guys have read this, please let me know what you think in the comments, because I've been eyeing it up for ages and I finally purchased it, and I feel like I am going to like E.M. Forster. I feel like I am going to like his writing. I don't know why, I just do, but I guess we will see. But I am really looking forward to giving this a go. Next we have Little Women, a retelling by Laura Wood, and this is basically like a dyslexic friendly version of Little Women, and I've read the book and watched the films. I really enjoyed the story, and I got sent the Pride and Prejudice version of these like dyslexic friendly classics by the publisher a couple of years ago. And I actually purchased this one myself because I really enjoyed the first one, and Laura did the Pride and Prejudice retelling, and obviously you guys know I love Laura, so I purchased this, and I've had this for like at least like a year, maybe 2 years, and it's about time I read it. And like Little Women gives me like autumn and like winter Christmas vibes. It always has done, and I'm really looking forward to reading this and just like seeing what I think. I know that Laura does slightly change the story at the end, or like, you know, how the story wraps up, but I'm very much looking forward to reading this. And like I say, because it is like a more like compact, easier to read version than the original story, I feel like it'd be quite quick to get through. So I'm really looking forward to like giving it a go and see what I think. It's literally just over 100 pages, so I'm really excited to read this. Next we have Sorrow and Bliss by Meg Mason, and I have been meaning to read this book for ages, and it was on the little bookshelf we have at work. I don't really know much about it. I think it deals with mental health, and mental health books kind of scream like autumn, or it's slightly darker, maybe slightly grittier. I can't really remember what it's about. I think it's about this woman and kind of things that she's been struggling with. Like I said, I don't really know much about it, and I don't really mind that. I just kind of want to go in a bit blind and see what I think. I've seen some people read Meg Mason before and they've really enjoyed her work, so I'm really excited to give it a go and see what I think. Next we have How Should a Person Be by Sheila Heti. I bought this when I went to Edinburgh last year. I got this from the Rare Birds bookshop and I'd never heard of anything about this book before, but I was intrigued. It's about I believe it's about a woman in her 20s and she kind of hits a point in her life where she doesn't want the life she currently has, so she tries to become a playwright. She meets loads of like artistic people. This is kind of multimedia as well. There's like bits of like script in here as well, which seems really interesting. And I'm really just genuinely intrigued to see what I think, because it's been ages since I picked up a book that's not based on like a recommendation from somebody or that I've seen somebody talk about like online. It's very rare that I do that these days, like pick up a book that I've not heard anybody talk about before. So I'm really intrigued to see what I think, and I think this is going to be my next read once I finish the book that I'm currently reading as well. So in terms of manga, I know I definitely want to read Blue Period Volume 2. I have watched the anime for this a couple of years ago. I really enjoyed it. Read Volume 1, I did enjoy it. This is slightly dense manga. It does take a little bit longer to read, but that's because it does have a lot of information about art in it, and I really appreciate that. It's kind of quite informational, informal, informative. There we go. It's informative, and I really appreciate that. And like I said, I loved the anime. So I'm like slowly making my way through the manga as well. And again, I think because this is like arty, I don't know, there's something about art that kind of gives me autumnal vibes. I don't know what it is, but it is. So I'm really intrigued to like see what I think. Like I said, I do know the story, but it has been a while since I watched the anime, so I'm really looking forward to carrying on with the series. I know I said 7 books, but I decided I'm going to carry on with 8. Technically more than that, because I want to finish a manga series. So I want to finish the Cherry Magic series, and I have volumes 11 to 14 to finish. I watched it again. I've watched the anime, like with most mangas that I have read or currently reading, and I really enjoyed it. It was like so much fun. It was so sweet, so much more than I thought it would be. So I want to finish the series basically, and they're quite thin volumes. I've really been enjoying the story and where it goes. I'm at a point now where the manga is surpassing the anime, so I get to kind of see the rest of the story, which I'm really looking forward to. And obviously the bits that they haven't, to my knowledge at any rate, included in the anime, because I know there is a film that is out. I think we're just waiting for like an international release, but I really adore this, so I will definitely be finishing this at some point in the autumn. Next we have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This had to be on my autumn TBR. I plan on reading this during October. It's an absolutely beast of a book. I can't even remember how many pages is it? It's over 500 pages. It's 533 pages. It is a beast of a book. So this is probably going to take up the majority of my reading during October, but I don't really know much about this. It's a multiple timeline, like 3 different timelines, 3 different characters. I know that there's sapphic vampires in this. It's kind of out of my comfort zone, but just from the like little poem that V.E. Schwab based this book off, it had me hooked. So I'm going to give her another go, because I did read Eddie LaRue. I did enjoy it, not as much as everybody else, but it was like a solid 3-star, you know. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like, you know, absolutely phenomenal, blowing me out of the water. But I love the poem for this. So it says, 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangled like roots. One grows high and one grows deep and one grows wild, and all of them grow teeth. I love that. The poet in me really loves that. So I have heard good things from what I have heard people talk about so far with this book. So I'm looking forward to like giving it a go and seeing what I think, getting out of my comfort zone a little bit. And this is definitely like the most like October-y, Halloween-y read I'm probably ever going to read. So like I said, really intrigued to see what I think when I get to this. And then the last book on my autumn TBR is How to Lose a Lord in 10 Days by Sophie Irwin. And Sophie Irwin's last book, which was A Lady Skies a Scandal, was one of my favourite books of last year. And I listened to that via audiobook, and this I plan to also listen to via the audiobook for the most part anyway, because I feel like it really improved my reading experience. I don't know much about this book. I'm assuming it is based on How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, the film, which I've never watched. I don't really know what it's about, but I'm assuming this is like a historical take on that, basically. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what I think, like I said, because I loved Sophie Irwin's last book so much. I do kind of have high hopes for this, but I guess we will see. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this and listening to it. I will hopefully get through it, because the last book of hers, it took me about 6 months to get through it, because I'm not very good at listening to audiobooks. I'm really looking forward to reading this. This is one of the books I'm most excited to read on this list. And I haven't had my fair share of historical fiction this year. I've been quite poor at it, which is abominable for me, since I do really love my historical fiction. It's probably my favourite genre. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this, and I hope I love it as much as I do with her other book. So those are all of the books that I plan to read this autumn. If you guys have read any of them, or let me know which ones you think I should read first. Like I said, I have like a rough idea of when I'm going to read some of them, but let me know which ones you think I should read first. And I'm looking forward to this TBR, you know. I've done alright for the most okay-ish with my summer TBR, not as well as I did with my spring one, but I'm determined to, like, you know, get through these books, because I do have quite a few books on my physical TBR at the moment, so I definitely want to like make my way through them. So like I said, let me know in the comments which one you think I should read first, and if you got to the end of this video and you don't know what to comment a like autumn leaf emoji, because like I said, autumn is here. It is early autumn, but autumn nonetheless, and I need to embrace that in every aspect. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. I will leave the links to my social media along my Goodreads in the description down below for you guys if you would like to see more bookish content that you will not find on this channel. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye guys!